and welcome tonight to day 2 of 80 from our number 3 book club. In this video today, we're going to be discussing chapter 1 from the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, forwarded by the great Steve Harvey. Welcome everyone tonight to day 2 of our book club. I am your host tonight, Vernitra Thomas. Vernitra Thomas, better known as Tweet, and I'm excited, y'all. I'm dialing in from Easley, South Carolina, so let me know where you're dialing in from, okay? And hashtag my purpose-driven faith. So remember our first 2 book clubs. I got to take you down memory lane. They went so well. Remember 42 Days with the Purpose-Driven Life? Yes, we were together as a group, and collectively, the video series that us as Next Level Faith call, we were able to reach over 4,000 people to encourage them. So the second book club, okay, was right behind that one. We started this book club in the summer of this year. And we did this book club for 40 days. Okay, the first one was 40 days. This one was 40. First one was 42 days. This one is 40 days. Okay, so this is our second book club. Commanding Your Morning by Dr. Sidney Trim. Learning how to unleash the power of God in our lives. Yes, we've been growing this year. And now book club number 3. Yes, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This is the best selling guide to achieving success. How many of us want to be successful and have results to show them in 2019, coming into 2020? I love it. So welcome everyone tonight. If this is the replay, hashtag replay. And if you have not already, please share this broadcast because sharing is caring. Hey, Yolanda, welcome to the live broadcast tonight. We're getting ready to read chapter 1, and I'm so excited. Yes, so this book means so much to me because when I left my corporate job 6 years ago, this was like my manual to keeping my mind straight, to, staying focused on what God had promised me. So I'm excited tonight to be reading this book. I'm not going to talk a lot because we have a lot to read, a lot to share. I do want to share with you, though, that I suggest that you get a bookmark. I got this one in our first book club from Family Dollar. It was $1, so it's lasted me almost a whole year. And I also suggest that you get, if you want to take notes, get you a pen and some paper, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of great information tonight. And what else? If you don't want to take notes, then just sit back and relax and listen to the smooth sounds of Vernitra. Welcome tonight, Meth Pro. Let me know where you're dialing in from. And thanks for hashtagging my purpose-driven faith. We about to get into it tonight. If you have not already, please share this broadcast. Welcome tonight. We are Next Level Faith Call Group, and I am Vernitra Thomas. Excited. This is one of my favorite books. And I get to read it in front of the group. We get to be a mastermind. I'm excited. Welcome tonight. All right. Also, I wanted to mention that we have started to upload our videos on YouTube. So check us out on YouTube, especially with this 80-day series. And keep Next Level Faith Call lifted up in prayer. Especially keep me lifted up in prayer. That I would be obedient and that I would, stay encouraged and that I would be supported and protected in Jesus' name. Y'all pray for me, okay? Oh, while I'm showing off my bracelets, this is some of the new things that I have made. I'm wearing purple today, and I know that this is Breast Cancer Month. It's a little big on me because this is not my size, but I'm wearing it today because I'm wearing purple. But these bracelets, I will be giving away a custom made bracelet at the end of the week. Next Monday, I'll be announcing a winner. And I've got tons of bracelets. So if you don't want to wait to be a winner, you can purchase these bracelets, okay? So welcome tonight. Thank you all that are here live, and thank you for the ones who are watching the call recorded. All right, so let me jump into the book. Chapter 1. This is the man who thought his way into partnership with Thomas A Edison. Oh, y'all ready tonight? This is what it looks like. Let me check my time, make sure I stay on track. Okay, good. We got 20 minutes of reading. Y'all ready? This is my part. I just love this. Okay, so the man who thought his way into partnership with Thomas A Edison. Truly, thoughts are things, and powerful things at that. When they're mixed with definiteness of purpose and persistence and a burning desire for their translation into riches or other material objects. Okay, so a little over 30 years ago, Edward C. Barnes discovered how true it is that men really do think and grow rich. Okay, his discovery did not come about in one setting. It came about little by little, beginning with a burning desire to be a business associate of the great Edison. One of the chief characteristics of Barnes' desire was that it was definite. Okay, he wanted to work with Edison, not for him. Okay, so observe carefully the description of how he went from translating his desire into reality. Okay. And when you have a better understanding of the 13 principles which lead to riches, it'll all kind of make more sense. So when this desire or this impulse of thought first flashed into his mind, he had no position. He wasn't in a position to act on it. Two difficulties stood in his way. He didn't know Mr. Edison, and he didn't even have enough money for his railroad fare to Orange, New Jersey. So these difficulties were sufficient to have discouraged the majority of men from making the attempt to carry out the desire. But he was no ordinary desire. He was determined to find a way to carry out his desire, that he finally decided to travel blind baggage rather than be defeated. So what is blind baggage? Blind baggage is that he caught the freight train to East Orange, New Jersey. So when he got there, he presented himself to Mr. Edison's laboratory and announced that he had come to do business with the inventor. So in speaking of the first meeting between Barnes and Edison years ago, Mr. Edison said, "He stood there before me looking like an ordinary tramp." But there was something in his expression that was different on his face, that he was determined to he was determined to get what he had come after. Then the book goes on to say, I also learned from years of experience with men that when a man really desires a thing so deeply that he's willing to stake his entire future on one single turn of the wheel to get it, then he is sure to win. Yes, I gave him the opportunity that he asked for because I saw that he had made up in his mind to stand until he proceeded. Ha! Subsequent events prove that no mistake was made. So just what young Barnes said to Edison, what did he say on that occasion, was far greater than what he thought. Hallelujah. So Edison himself said, it couldn't have been the young man's appearance which got him into the office, because that was definitely working against him. But it was his thought that counted. So if the significance of this statement could have been conveyed to every person who reads it, then there would be no need for the remainder of this book. remember tonight, for those of you who are taking notes, it's the thought that counts. Let me pause for a minute because we are like halfway through our read tonight. And I want to pause to see if we've got any comments from the audience. Pro says, I like the purple one. He's talking about my bracelets. Thank you. I appreciate it. So tonight, if you don't remember anything else, remember that everything starts with a thought. Your thoughts really do turn into things. So don't discount them and don't think they go nowhere, because they go somewhere. Everything starts with a thought. And that was one of the breaking points in my life. What helped me to be more responsible and more accountable for the things that, were happening in my life that I liked, and even the things that I didn't like knowing that it all started with my thinking. It was coming from my thoughts. The results that I was getting in my life, it just helped me. So I wanted to just pause for a moment and just put that out there, that everything starts with a thought. It is the thought that counts. And I highlighted it here in the book. Out of everything I read, that was the only thing that I highlighted. All right, so let me continue. So Barnes, he didn't get his partnership with Edison on his first interview. He did get a chance to work in the Edison offices, though, at a very minimal wage, doing work that was unimportant to Edison, but most important to Burns, because it gave him an opportunity to display his merchandise where he intended to, quote unquote, partner so that he could see it. So months went by. Apparently, nothing happened to bring the convicted goal into existence. But Barnes had already set into his mind his definite major purpose. Definite major purpose. So even with this book club, my definite major purpose is completing 80 days. Okay, getting through till our last day is December 17th. So even though I've read this book before, it's like I am reading it for the very first time, and I'm a student and a teacher. So it is very rewarding. And I encourage you, for those of you who are watching and have the desire to be a public speaker or be a motivational speaker, or just to be a better speaker, period. I encourage you to, get out of your comfort zone and read the book and, step out on faith, because it works. It works. Okay, so let me get back to the book. So psychologists have correctly said that when one is truly ready for a thing, it puts itself into appearance. So Barnes was ready for the business association with Edison. Moreover, he was determined to remain ready. That's the thing. You got to be ready. He was determined to remain ready until he got what he was seeking. So he didn't say to himself, oh, well, what's the use? I guess I'll change my mind and try a salesman job. But he did say, I came here to go into business with Edison, and I'll accomplish this to the end if it takes the remainder of my life. How many of us have a desire like that? I know when I left my corporate job, that was my desire. I'm going to stay home and raise my kids if it's the last thing I do on earth. And God He honored my desire. We're still here. Okay, so maybe young Burns didn't know at the time, but his bulldog determination, his persistence, and standing back on a single desire, was destined to mow down all the oppositions and bring him into the opportunity he was seeking. And this is another part that I have highlighted for those of you who are taking notes. So when the opportunity came, listen, it appeared in a different form. and from a different direction in which Barnes had expected. So this is one of the tricks of opportunity, okay? It has a sly habit of slipping into the back door and often becomes disguised in the form of misfortune or temporary defeat. How many can relate to that? I'm going to read it again because it's so good. Okay, when the opportunity came, it appeared in a different form, okay? It came from a different direction from which Barnes had expected. This is one of the tricks of opportunity. It has a sly habit of slipping in through the back door, and often it disguises itself in the form of misfortune or temporary defeat. So perhaps this is why so many fail to recognize opportunity. Mr. Edison had just perfected a new office device known at the time as the Edison dictating machine, now the Ediphone. Okay, his salesmen were not enthusiastic over their machine. Okay, they did not believe in it, and they did not believe it could be sold without great effort. Okay, so but Barnes, he saw the opportunity. It had crawled quietly in, hidden in a queer-looking machine, which interests no one but Barnes and the inventor. What y'all think about that part? What you think about those apples? Hey, Miss Rosa, welcome to the live broadcast tonight. Let us know where you're dialing in from. Thanks for being here. Okay, so Barnes, he knew how to sell the Edison dictating machine. Okay, he suggested this to Edison and promptly got his chance. Opportunity just like that. At the right place, at the right time. He had to wait on it. And as he waited, he stayed focused and he stayed the course. Okay, it's getting good. This part is getting ready to end. And I want to make sure that we have time to read 3 Feet from Gold, because I mentioned it last night on day 1. And I want to make sure we get it because I don't want anyone to quit 3 Feet from Gold. We're at the end of 2019. God has brought us this far. There's some more he wants to show us. I'm excited. So let me continue because we're almost finished with this section. So the business alliance has been in operation now for more than 30 years. And out of it, Barnes has made himself rich in money. But he has done something infinitely greater. He has proven that really anyone may think and grow rich. Welcome tonight. Hey, Miss Tina. Welcome to the live broadcast. Thank you for hashtagging My Purpose Driven Faith. Welcome from Knightsdale tonight. Yes. You've come in at the right point, Miss Tina. We're getting ready to get to the really good part, even though it's how all of it has been good. So we're wrapping up now. The man who thought his way into partnership with Thomas A Edison, and then we're getting into 3 Feet from Gold. Okay. Where am I? All right. So Barnes literally thought himself into partnership with the great Edison. He thought himself into fortune. You know, he had nothing to start with except the capability to know what he wanted. And he was determined to stand by that desire until it was realized. Okay, he had no money to begin with. He had little education. He had no influence. Okay, but he had initiative. He had faith and he had the will to win. Yes. So with these intangible forces, he made himself the #1 man with the greatest inventor who ever lived. Ha! Ain't that good? The man who thought his way into partnership with Thomas A Edison. So now let's look at a different situation. And a study of a man who had plenty of tangible evidence of riches, but he lost it because he stopped 3 feet from the gold he was seeking. So that brings us to 3 feet from gold. And I see we have about 10 minutes before this live broadcast will be ending tonight, this beautiful read. I hope y'all are having as much fun as I am. I just love it. All right, so 3 feet from gold. I'm going to take a sip of my water. All right. So one of the most common causes of failure is the habit of quitting when one is overtaken by temporary defeat. Okay, so every person is guilty of this mistake at one time or another. So an uncle of R.U. Darby was caught by the gold fever and the gold rush days, and he went west to dig and grow rich. He had never heard that more gold has been mined from the brains of man than has ever been taken from the earth. And I highlighted that too. I'm going to read it again. He has never heard that more gold has been mined from the brains of men than has ever been taken from the earth. He staked a claim and went to work with pick and shovel. The going was hard, but his lust for gold was definite. So after weeks of labor, he was rewarded by the discovery of a shiny ore. He needed machinery to bring the ore to the surface. So quietly, he covered up the mound, retracted his footsteps to his home in Williamsburg, Maryland, told his relatives and a few neighbors of the strike. So they got together money for the needs of the machinery and they shipped it off. The uncle and Darby, they went back to work the mine. Okay, so the first car of ore was mined and it was shipped to the melter. The returns proved that they had made one of the richest mines in Colorado. Okay, so only a few more cars and they could clear up all their debts. So they went to drilling. They went into and then up went the hopes of Darby and his uncle. Something had happened. You know, the vein of gold ore had disappeared. They had come to the end of the rainbow. And the pot of gold was no longer there. But they drilled on, desperately trying to pick up the vein again, all to no avail. Finally, they just quit, They sold the machinery to a junk man for a few $100s, and they took the train back home. Some junk men are dumb, but not this one. He called in a mining engineer to look at the mine and do a little bit of calculating. The engineer approved that the project, it had failed because the owners were not familiar with fault lines. His calculations showed that the veins would have been 3 feet from where Darby had stopped drilling. So here's this man and his uncle who, heard about gold. They didn't have anything when they first went to dig the gold. They found out gold was there. They go back to their home, tell the family about it. He brings his uncle back with him. And now, their hopes and dreams, they look like they're nowhere. They just look like they're not going to happen. They're discouraged. And we're at a point now where he's quit. He's sold everything he's invested into the business for really pennies on the dollar. He's sold his machinery for a few $100s, but he gave up all his time, his energy, his effort. He gave up his brand, So let's continue to see what happened, because I wanted to make sure that I brought everyone up to point, because this is so good. Y'all don't know how many times I quit 3 feet from gold. And I want to help somebody tonight. I want you to hang in here. I want you to receive. Yes. Learn how to receive and learn how to give. It's a process, and it's beautiful when it works when it works like a dance. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, so his calculations showed that the vein would have been found just 3 feet from where Darby had stopped drilling. And that's exactly where it was found. The junk man took millions of dollars from the ore, from the mine, because he knew enough to seek expert counsel before giving up. So for those of you who are taking notes, okay, it's okay to give up, but seek expert help first. That's something that you need to know and remember as you're building and as you're growing, as we are all getting our mind right. I'm taking a step down memory lane again too. I had to write down the things that I've highlighted. Okay, so if you're going to give up, seek expert counsel first. Okay, so most of the money that went into the machinery came from the efforts of R.U. Darby when he was a very young man. And the money came from his relatives and his neighbors because of their faith in him. Now, he paid them back every dollar, although it took him years to do it. So thank God Mr. Darby was a man not only of his word, but he was a man of integrity. He did what he said he was going to do, and he took some major losses. But watch who he became out of those losses. Watch this. So long after Mr. Darby recouped his losses many times over again, when he made the discovery that desire can be transmuted into gold. Write that down. Desire can be transmuted into gold. Yes. Yes. The discovery came after he went into the business of selling life insurance. Isn't that ironic? I'm a life insurance agent. And I want to say I became a life insurance agent after reading this book. But anyway, let me continue because we're almost done. This is all we have left. And again, this is 3 feet from gold. So remembering that he lost a huge fortune because he stopped 3 feet from gold, Darby profited by the experience in his chosen work. So by the simple method of just saying to himself, I stopped 3 feet from gold, but I will never stop because a man said no when I asked him to buy life insurance. So Darby is one of a small group of fewer than 50 men who sell more than $1 million in life insurance annually. He owes his stickability to the lesson he learned from his quitability in the gold mining business. So before success comes into a man's life, he is sure to meet temporary defeat and perhaps some failure. When defeat takes over a man, the easiest and most logical thing to do is to quit. That's exactly what the majority of men do. Do you know how many people quit their job back in 2013 when I did? But they went back to what they quit. I was trying to think of somebody else I know one other person. There were a lot of people that were called off for their jobs in 2012 and 2013 that went right back. Okay. Because they felt defeated and they felt, temporary defeat. But temporary defeat is only temporary. And defeat, you're only defeated if you quit. So I'm grateful that I just kept going. I kept my nose to the ground and I just kept going. Yes, 3 feet from gold. And here I am now. I'm in my gold mine. I just love it. So this is the last paragraph. So more than 500 of the most successful men in this country has told the author their greatest success came in the step when they were just beyond defeat, but just before defeat had taken over them. So failure is it's a trickster, and it has a sense of irony and it's cunning. It takes great delight in tripping one up when success is almost within reach. So don't give up. Don't quit. Not unless you seek expert advice first, okay? So many great lessons in today. What y'all think about that read? Oh, we out of time. Ha! I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I am Vernitra Thomas, better known as Tweet. I'm a prayer warrior, kingdom business builder. Visit our website, nextlevelfaithcall.com. Also, come back tomorrow on day 3. I said I wasn't going to count the days down. We're going to be together throughout eternity. Put it that way, okay? We are believers of Jesus Christ. Come back tomorrow because I want to make sure that I share with you a 50 cents lesson in perseverance. It's where we get to learn a lesson from a child. Oh, yes. Isn't it good? I just love it. So God bless you and God keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Oh, may God keep lifting up his countenance upon you and your family, giving you peace in Jesus' name. Amen. Good night, everyone. Thank you for being here live. Share this broadcast. Hashtag my purpose driven faith. I think that's it. Good night. Peace.